What? I'm not playing Enfield. What do you mean you want to see fluorite? Didn't I set it up to say PowerWash Sim? It says PowerWash Sim. There is no fluorite. Ah, yes. PowerWash Sim 2, not Enfield. No, second PowerWash Sim. Why are you on Yappy's account anyway, you weirdo? Same letters, just arranged differently? Man, I don't know about this. This is a bit weird. Because she has a phone out in front of me? I mean, I guess that's fair. I guess. Yam is busy eating midnight fries. Midnight fries are bad for you, Yam Yam. You should not be eating the midnight fries. I was gonna be doing regular Arknights today, but I was screwing around with it earlier today, and I haven't finished the map I was gonna work on, but I am fairly certain I know how to do it. So like, I feel like I'll end up getting it done in the first hour, and I don't really want to just be like, bam, done, and then just have nothing else to do, because I don't even have anything to do in Enfield. So, like, I can't even just go, yes, we've done Arknights, let's go do Enfield now. Like, I have nothing to do. So... What the fuck, yeah? Yeah, I'm just be picking violence today. What the hell? So who's the best girl here? Me. I'm the best girl here. Even if I was playing Enfield, hang on, hold up. Even if I was playing Enfield, you wouldn't see fluorite anyway, because I don't use her. Exactly. When there's no best girl, become best girl. Yamite's only really good if you're using like an ice team, and I don't really use an ice team. I mostly use a physical team. So you wouldn't see me using fluoride anyway. Uber has done irreparable damage to you. Ubel. I just don't use ice teams, man. I'm sorry. Yam is asking for a backflip from me. I'll show her. If I put Yam Yam on the wheel and fucking roll her around, it'll look from her perspective like I am doing a backflip. From her perspective. There is no best redeem on this Yam Yams. I need a model for the best redeem to work. I'm not using VTube Studio today. You already had midnight fries. You don't get more midnight fries. No more midnight fries for you. Only one lot of midnight fries. Then no more midnight fries. Then you're cut off. Cut off from the midnight fries. Send you home to sleep off the midnight fries. I hate you. I'm thinking of your best interests, Yan Yan. I only have your best interests at heart. Best interest equal midnight fright. No! Bad Yam Yams. No midnight fries for you. I'm gonna steal them all. Why is that even an emote you can create? What the hell? I have so many questions. I'm supposed to clean the rat last. I don't even know where the rat is. There's a ducky. It says I'm supposed to clean Yampy last. Oh, there it is. Yampy. With a little mustache and a tie. Hell yeah, you. Take a photo. You're on a float, Yam Yams. They're showing you off to the world. Like, look at this tremendous rodent. Munching on fucking midnight chips. That's the Yampy H Taro. How's the week been for me? My week has been... it's been a week. It has definitely been a week. I have... not that I'm going to go into really details, but... I don't know, it may in future affect my streaming ability, so I'm gonna have to end up talking about it. Probably, not in great detail. I'm going in for quite a few medical tests this week. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes out. Nothing overly serious, but yeah, it is something that may in future affect my ability to stream. Or at least stream at the time I do, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what the outcomes are and what potential resolutions there are. So I've got 2 medical tests to do this week, so we'll see how they go. One of which I won't even get the results of for like 2 months anyway, because I can't actually book in for results, so that's amazing. Is it because of my beard? What the fuck? What do you mean, is it because of my beard, you weirdo? Yeah, my beard is becoming, like, what's the word? Self-aware. My beard is becoming self-aware. Taking all of my energy and becoming too powerful? It might be, yeah. That's why you gotta see the doctor? It's true. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. The beard has become too powerful. Transplant your beard hair to your chest? That's wild, Daz. Imputaro MD PhD. Are you getting a chest hair transplant, Daz? No. Transplanted chin skin to their chest. I did not know that. That is interesting. But in the inside, they did it around the wrong way. Is that the transplant you're gonna have done, Daz? Internal throat hair? More your butt? I mean, that's fair. Get that booty hair. Hell yeah, the butt's cold. Understandable. Yam just wants you to freeze. Yam just wants your butt to freeze. Look at that. The hamster just doesn't understand. Hey Carrot, how you doing? You've come in at an interesting topic. You can have like a fur coat on your butt. Imagine the warmth. Your butt's just like a little radiator. How awesome would that be? Yeah, and you just don't understand. It is strongly awesome, in fact. You'd never have to worry about a cold toilet seat ever again, Daz. These are the things you've got to think about, Yam Yams. She's refusing to... There, refusing to play Resident Evil 5 with you, though? Why? Just she hates you? Oh. I guess there's no helping it then. I can't believe she's refusing to play a game with you. The nerve. Insanity? Fortnite? I've never played Fortnite. Don't bring me into this. Can't believe you, Yam. Also, I want you to be aware we're both on the couch right by each other watching you stream. No, I figured that. Either that you or you were in bed, one or the other. All 25 of you. Insanity. Damn, Yam, you pumped those babies out quick. Yeah, she hamper. Understandable, you know. Have a good day. Big litters. I get it, I get it. I can change, he says. Are you sure about that, Daz? He won't suck the boba anymore, Yam. He'll savor the boba. He won't commit crimes against boba anymore. He can change. Be less cursed for 5 minutes. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, it is change. I'm not gonna take that away from you. You are right. He's not wrong. He's out of line, but he's not wrong.
What the fuck?
Baby, what the fuck? Also, I found out the other day, or last week, she's beating you up. Oh. Yam, that's domestic abuse. Don't do that. That's frowned upon in most societies. Also, Daz, unfortunately, the other thing is that once I've started a stream, I can't swap to playing Enfield. Enfield doesn't like to swap while I'm streaming. So I can't even just, like, open Enfield and just give you, like, a lick of the fluoride. If I want to stream Enfield, it has to be open before I start streaming. It's really weird. I can't believe you gotta get a fluoride fix from another streamer. I'm sorry, man. I just don't have anything to do in Enfield. I've finished all the side quests. My sanity is gone. I'm insane in Arknight's Enfield. Although one could argue that I was insane long before Enfield came out. Borb. Why do you even like her anyway? I'm curious. Is it just the green hair? Do we need to dye Yam's hair green? Is that what we need to do? She sounds like toothpaste. I mean, no. You're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying that you're... maybe a little too aggressive at your descriptioning. Daz still hasn't actually told me like what he likes about him. Daz has just gone quiet when I asked the question. Did you kill him, Yam? Did you put him in the hospital? Did you call the ambulance and say he fell down some stairs? American ambulances don't get here that fast. Oh, okay. Though you are not denying that you sent him to the doctors and told him to say that he fell down some stairs. Stare. That is money, don't have. Equally fair. He's got some frozen peas on his face. Oh my god. How could you? Yem Yem beat him up. Can't believe this. Are you eating the peas while he tries to soothe his beaten face? What the hell? This hamster's a monster. That's because you already ate the midnight fries, hamster. What the hell? Once they're gone, they're gone. You can't have more. This. I always knew you were an evil little hamster. Always knew the cruelty that lay behind those little eyes. Those beady little eyes. I was gonna get a new game the other day. I saw this game advertising that they were doing like a collab run crossover event with Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then I found out the game was a gacha game, and I'm just like, oof. I don't think so. Which is a shame, because it looked kind of cool. But I am not all for more gachas. I can't keep playing more gachas. Gachas are like midnight fries. You enjoy them for one serving, and then you don't get more. Only single serving of midnight fries. Only single serving of gacha. But Silver Palace though? People keep asking me to play more gacha games, and I'm just like, man, I can't play more gacha games. There are only so many gacha games a man can play. tend to top out at about 3. I find that 2 is an ideal number, but I always tend to end up with about 3. I actually did get into Tacticus at release, but I stopped playing it for a long time, and then I went back to it. I stopped playing it for like 6 or 8 months, and then I went back to it. I still don't actually know if I'm going to continue playing Tacticus. Tacticus is kind of one of those games that doesn't really have a lot of automation. It does, but it's really limited on how you can execute it, and I think it takes about an hour to do all the daily stuff, and I just, like, it's a lot of investment. And I'm really not all for that. It's a fun little game. I don't want to take that away from anybody. Like, I don't think it's a bad game in any way, shape, or form. But it is a time-consuming game. It's kind of one of those games where it has to be the game you play. Tacticus doesn't really work too good as like a game you play on the side or a game you play in addition to something. It's definitely a you should probably only focus on this game type of game. I played a Final Fantasy gacha. I don't remember which one it was. I didn't play it through to release because I found that, like, the monetization in it was really tacky. I played it for a while. Like, I played it for, like, a good year, I think. But I don't remember what the game was called. It may have been Mobius. whatever it was, I kind of enjoyed it, but like I said, the monetization aspect of whatever game it was, I kind of got really cranky with, and I just threw it out the window. At some point, I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeet. I'm still not sold on whether or not I'll stick with Enfield. Which comes as no surprise to me, because every time I get excited for a game these days, they tend to do something in it that just completely makes the game not unplayable, but just untenable, I guess, would maybe be the word. Yeah, that's what I think it's going to end up being as well. And at some point, a game's just going to come... Like, eventually it's just going to get to the point where I look at it and just go, well, you know, there's not really a point in me playing this, because I come back to it, like, I have to log into it every day to do everyday stuff. It forces me to do that everyday stuff for experience. Like, I'll stop playing it for the same reason I stopped playing Tacticus, if I ever stop playing Tacticus, is that the day-to-day stuff just takes too long. Like, the reason stuff like Arknight's day-to-day stuff doesn't bother me is, like, it's all automated, so I can just be like, yep, here we go, I do this, and then I can do something else at the same time. I can't do that with Enfield. Like, I have to physically go and do it. And that just isn't fun to me. Like, if it's not going to be a game... I don't even want a game where I have to do shit, like, daily. Like, I don't want an MMO. There's a reason I don't play MMOs, and that's it. Like, I don't like being forced to do shit every day or fall behind. And at the moment, Enfield is running that model of you do shit every day or you fall behind. And I don't like that. I don't... See, the biggest issue is, too, now. I noticed the other day, like, I was actually talking to somebody about Enfield as a game, and, like, what I do and what I don't like about it. And it became very acutely aware to me that Enfield never needed to be an Arknights game. Like, it never needed to fall under the Arknights franchise. And now that I've seen that, it kind of bothers me. And I don't think it's ever not going to bother me. Because of Enfield, we do have Goober Chen. I found out today that Goober Chen never started out as a goober, which is interesting. Chen actually started off as a serious character. No, maybe not like the Chen we know in Arknights. but she wasn't more serious. Yeah, every beta test, she just kept losing brain cells. But that's just it. It's not even Terra. It's a completely different planet, so world building means nothing. Because it's not the same world. Thank you for the hydrate. Oh, my water is drippy because it's humid. Final Fantasy is a game generation was never supposed to go past its first iteration, though. Like, Final Fantasy is kind of an outlier in what it is. It's kind of like, Final Fantasy is essentially like the Square Enix version of frickin' Skyrim. They just release a new Final Fantasy and people buy it, and because people buy it, they just keep releasing the same... It's not the same game, but at the same time, it's like the same enemies, the same jobs, the same, you know... It doesn't really expand upon anything, it's just the plot changes. Half the time, it's not even the same universe. Well, not even half the time. Most of the time, it's not even the same universe. There's only a few instances where it changes the universe. But I mean, Final Fantasy also just follows that JRPG concept, which I think they may have initially started anyway, but I could be wrong. Because this I don't know for a fact. Of just make a game and just reuse assets. Make a game and just reuse assets. A lot of JRPGs did that. So, you know, understandably, development costs would have been woeful. Because all they would have needed to do was hire writers and throw it all together. I'm disinclined to believe that Arknight's Enfield was ever even supposed to be an Arknight's game. The Arknight's logo is a different font in Enfield. The game on its mobile platforms is just called Enfield. It's not actually labeled as Arknight's Enfield. I'm very disinclined to believe that it was probably designed as an Arknight's entry and more just designed as kind of like that Final Fantasy thing where it's kind of this is what it is, but it's not actually what it is. Because let's be honest here. If you yoinked out the interactable headstone from the start. And the ghosts of, who is it? Epi, Angie, and Serta? You wouldn't even need to remove the races. You could still leave the races in there because everybody would just go, it's a hypergriff game, who cares? Like, nobody, like, people would call it lazy, but nobody would really care beyond that. You could just give them different names. Because it's just a hypergriff IP, so who cares? See, I disagree that people wouldn't play it. I don't think Arkanites is popular enough to very clearly state that, like, its name makes or breaks Enfield. Like, Arknights is a popular game, yeah, but it's not, like, so popular that, Enfield lives or dies on the reputation of Arknights. I thought Bloons would have been the number one. I don't doubt that it's probably number one in China. That doesn't surprise me. Given that it is a Chinese game. Where's the dirt? I have no idea. Oh, hang on. I know what I've got to click. Ha ha ha. I'm smart. Idiot. I am dumb. It's nearly time to clean the rat. It is time to clean the rat. Let's soap up the rat. I am a little surprised that Fate Go is the top, because everybody complains about the monetization in that game, so I am a little surprised to know how many people spend the money. Look at this chubby ham. Chubby hamster. Especially since Fate Go has put down End of Life, I am a little surprised to hear that it is still earning money. I would have thought that would be the reason why you'd shut it down. It just wasn't earning. What other achievements do I need? I'm gonna do the roller disco. But yeah, I will definitively live and die on the fact that Enfield did not need to be given the Arknights moniker. I just can't see that it ever needed it. I mean, I would have tried it too, just because, again, it's kind of what I do. Like, if I see a game by a game company that I previously played games from, yeah, I'd try it. I have an issue with people using franchise names to get people to play their games. And I've had that issue with games since Blizzard started doing it. Which is to say, like, 2011. So, this isn't a new issue that I've had. Yeah, but see, that's also how you kill an IP franchise. Like Blizzard's done. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do something. I mean, let's be honest, Blizzard's not the only one who's killed one of their own franchises by making poor replications of games. Blizzard's just the best example. However, I can at the very least say that Blizzard has never released an IP in the gacha model. Well, actually, no, they did that with Diablo. No, I take that back. Exactly. Hearthstone was good, though. Which is interesting, because I don't usually give Blizzard a lot of praise. I liked Hearthstone. By comparison to its peer games, which I can never remember the name of, I actually think Hearthstone was a good game. At least it was when I played it. I haven't played it for a long time, but I used to play it a lot. Like, back in the early 2010s. I used to love that game. You know, I can never remember the name of one of its competitor games, though. I'm pretty sure it's like a Japanese game, but I can never remember the name of it. It has a sequel. They released a second version of it, and the second game was like, it failed hard, which is interesting. What's up, Bonsai? Right! Hearthstone released to compete with Magic the Gathering? Those seem like two very different games to be competing with one another. What's up, Bonsai? What were you guys up to? A what? Oh. Do tell. It's gonna bother me now. I need to know what that fucking game was called. I have it on Steam, I think. Let me have a look at my Steam list, see if I can find it. Not that I'll probably find it, but... If I had downloaded the second version of it on Steam, I would actually have the second version of it in my library, and then I could narrow it down, but... Yabbed played Crab Champions, Iron Lung, Worm from Home, and ended with Half Sword. Jesus. So many. Iron Lung. I hear Markiplier got stitched up on his Iron Lung movie that he did. Yeah, it came out this weekend, and I think something happened. Because there's a lot of videos going around of Markiplier saying he was fucking done. So I don't know what happened, because I couldn't find anything like concrete. Like I found a lot of more hearsay stuff, and I didn't really have the time to look into it, so. It was taken off the box office and Hollywood is just not accepting his movie. There you go, Rise in with it. Rye knows what happened. Yeah, no, I heard a little bit of it, but I didn't actually get the chance to like read anything concrete, because some things are saying, some of the stuff I saw was like, it was a huge fucking success, and then the next thing I read is like, oh, this man is just having a full breakdown because his movie got pulled. I'm trying to figure out what was real and what was fake, or what was misleading, because it would appear that both were true. Apparently the movie was a big success, but apparently it got yoinked, so. He made his money back, apparently. Cost him $3 million and he made back $21 million in the first weekend. I have too many games in Steam. I thought that I would find this game, but I am not winning. There it is, Shadowverse. I played Shadowverse as well for a little while, like after I stopped playing Hearthstone. Oh, I know why I stopped playing Hearthstone. That was when I stopped playing all Blizzard games. Your Wi-Fi was bugging and it was cool. Hello, Awari. I know exactly when I stopped playing Hearthstone. It was a politically motivated suggestion. I'll be lurking here, so I hope you have a great stream and lots of fun. Thanks, Bri. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was when some, I think it was a Hong Kong streamer? Oh, not a streamer, like a Hong Kong competitive player said something, or maybe it was a Taiwanese person who said something. I don't remember. It was a fucking decade ago. Yeah, the tournament, and Blizzard released a really dodgy press statement. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not the one, Blizzard. So yeah, That was when I stopped playing Hearthstone, which is, like I said, a shame because I really enjoyed Hearthstone. I had a really strong Warlock team. I wouldn't say I played it, like, competitively or anything like that, but... I mean, if somebody offered me, like, to play in a competition, I wouldn't mind it. I was pretty confident in that Warlock team. I spent a lot of time fucking around with it. I don't know when that was. That was like 2013 or something. It's a long time ago. Was it 2019? No, surely not. No shit. I feel like... No, I stopped playing Hearthstone long before that. I have the screenshot. I'd have to check when the screenshot is dated. Although then again, I could have grabbed that screenshot at any fucking time, so I suppose that's not... Maybe it's dated. Maybe I can check the date on it. Like, the post. How clean are we up here? I don't know if I could find it. Let me see if I can real quick. I don't think I will be able to, but I'll have a quick look. There it is. No, it's just got the date, 10th of the 8th. Properties. When did I download this? Yeah, no, I grabbed... Oh, there it is. Yeah, 2019. I guess it was 2019. Yeah, they took his winnings. Yeah, I was really upset with that. Like, that genuinely gut punched me. I didn't like that. I thought that was really low. So that's when I stopped supporting Blizzard indefinitely, and I mean, since then, Blizzard has just become scummy as shit anyway, so... Blizzard got really bad. Now, whether they were already really bad, or whether or not they just got really bad, I don't know, but... Because I used to still play StarCraft 2. Not a lot, but, you know, I used to play it. I stopped playing Blizzard games altogether after they did that. I've since gone back. I do play a little bit of StarCraft 2. Not, like, regular StarCraft 2. I just play, like, the co-op, but... it's been hit and miss because it doesn't like ultra-wide monitors, so... It's like, well... Some days it works, some days it doesn't, so we just sort of take it as we can. But yeah, no. What Iwari said is pretty much my thought process. It's just like, yeah, fuck Blizzard. But that's alright, Blizzard will release a new StarCraft. Probably, maybe. And everybody will buy it. And then, like, StarCraft 2, everybody will be disappointed in it. And we'll have that whole process over again where everybody is completely stunned and shocked. Actually, it was stunning and shocking, which is kind of funny, because I was in the StarCraft 2 beta, and it was actually really good in StarCraft 2 beta. I played a lot of games in the StarCraft 2 beta, and it was really... It wasn't, like, super balanced, but it was a lot more balanced than it was at release. At release, the game was horrific. It was so rock, paper, scissors, it was ridiculous on release. And I think it's still the same way. Like, if you just happen to be building an army and the person who is against you is just building an army that completely, you know, rocks your scissors, for example, like, there's nothing you can do. You've lost, full stop. There's just nothing you can do. Then there was another game that came out from ex-Blizzard developers well, I think just recently. Maybe it's, I say just recently and then find out that things are not just recently, so take that with a grain of salt. Which kind of had like the trio of forces and all the rest of it. Same sort of cartoony vibe to it. I don't remember what it's called. I bought it, and then they released it as free-to-play, which apparently pissed off a lot of people, which, you know, as somebody who did buy the game, I do understand. Yeah, something gate. I don't know if it's Wild Gate. Something gate. Stormgate, maybe? I don't fucking know. Hang on, do I still have Steam open? Yeah, Stormgate. No, it's top-down. It's RPG. Not RPG, sorry. It's strategy. It is RTS. I played that. I didn't mind it. It wasn't too bad. But I think they stitched people up because they sold it and then for whatever reason it didn't really do all that well. And then they released it as free to play, so everybody who paid for it just kind of went, well, thanks guys, we appreciate that. They also heavily microtransactioned it straight off the bat. It wasn't a bad game, honestly. I did play it. I think it's a good game. I think it certainly needed a little bit more, like, tweaking as far as balancing goes, but I don't think it was a bad game. It's definitely more Warcraft than Starcraft, but... I thought it was good. Like I said, it needed work, don't get me wrong, but... unfortunately, for whatever reason, it just sort of... I don't know, it never picked up. Never picked up. And I don't really know why. Because I think the beta tests of it were pretty well received. I think a lot of people got upset with it because it was overly cartoony. Which, you know, I mean, if you have played Warcraft and you don't think that Warcraft is overly cartoony, I mean, I guess you've probably got bigger problems, but... Because even StarCraft 2 was dramatically cartoony. It's really weird how games that shouldn't fail do fail. Like, it was never going to be a hit success. It was never going to be the next StarCraft or the next Warcraft. Like, I'm not going to suggest that it was ever huge. It was ever going to be a huge game. Like, I don't get me on that one, but... It's just, I don't know why the game failed. I don't know whether it just flew so heavily under the radar that nobody picked it up, or... Maybe there's some sort of anti-StarCraft competitiveness, anti-StarCraft/Warcraft competitiveness thing that's going on. Like, maybe people are just very against games that compete with StarCraft and Warcraft? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I know that a lot of the big competitive players went back to StarCraft 1 when StarCraft 2 fell on its face. So to think that there would be, you know, the large majority of players wouldn't migrate to a new game that was better or worse or whatever. Like it just, I don't know, there must be something that went very wrong. And I don't know what it was. I mean, that would be certainly a reason. It's just a shame, you know, because you see a lot of these things, and like I said, I played the beta version of that game, and it, you know, it was, like I said, it was never going to be the next big StarCraft or Warcraft, but I don't see what was so bad with it that it failed. And it did fail, because the last time I looked at it, it only had 3 people playing it, which is very sad, but like, and I don't mean sad as in, like, ironic sad. I mean, it's genuinely sad to see that. It's not one of those games that I feel probably should have gone the way it did. I've heard a lot of games try and do that, try and be the next big esports thing. And a lot of them do fail. You can't make a game for competitive players because it won't sell. That's the problem with a competitive game, like trying to build a competitive game. It's like, well, if you make a game for the 1% of fucking esports players, you're not going to sell a lot of games. It's a very weird thought process to have. Ow. Thank you. I know throwing monetization into a game the way they did at release always seems to kill a game very quickly as well. Like, monetization needs to be really carefully done these days. Otherwise, people take very large amounts of offense to it. Which they should. I'm not saying people shouldn't. It's just, you kind of need to sort of draw a bar when the game's being developed, I think. Like, games seem to do really well when they just straight off the bat say, hey, monetization will be cosmetics only, for example. And everybody just goes, sweet, no worries. You know, nobody thinks twice about it when you do that. But the second you start monetizing other stuff, it's just, people seem to take it really badly. Especially if those cosmetics are ridiculously overpriced, and then everybody gets, like, mega upset. But a lot of games don't seem to believe that is the case. But then again, a lot of games are made by multi-million-dollar companies who can afford to lose the money if they do fuck it up. So unfortunately, if you're a poor little indie dev, poor little indie dev can't really afford to make that sort of gamble. Yeah, I don't know where they get the idea that they're gonna make a lot of money from. Like, I genuinely don't. Because surely to God, if you're like an indie dev, you're not gonna look at EA and go, yes, they make this much from FIFA every year. That's fucking doable. Like, that's normal. Surely you wouldn't. And everybody knows if something is reasonably priced, more people will buy it. Like, if you sold me a skin for anywhere between $5 to $10, I'll be more likely to buy that skin than I will be if you sell it for $20, $30. I mean, maybe they get the numbers from, like, gacha games or something? Maybe? Maybe they look at all the money that gacha games make, and they think it's just a simple non-balancing act? Maybe? I mean, this is just me sort of plucking thought concepts. Guild Wars. Now that is a game that has survived the test of time thrice over. Yeah, if you want to look to anybody for how to do it right, Guild Wars would be the one to look at. I looked at some of the paid options in Old Republic. Some of their paid options are ridiculous, I'll be dead honest. I do think they still market themselves far too highly, but that's no surprising given who owns them. It's kind of like, again, Blizzard. If you look at Blizzard, have you seen the fucking cost of Warcraft stuff by comparison to Final Fantasy, just as a loose example? Like, to run a direct one-to-one comparison? Cosmetics in Warcraft are like 3 to 4 times the cost of cosmetics in Final Fantasy. Real money, not fucking in-game or anything like that. It's fucking ridiculous. To change your race in Warcraft, I think it's like $80 Australian. To change your race. In Final Fantasy, I can pay $14 Australian and get 3 of the things to change my race. I used to keep a little stockpile of them, actually. I used to change my character pretty frequently when I played Final Fantasy. Just whenever I got a little bored, I used to just swap them out. Yeah, I think they used to sell packs of 3 in 14, they used to sell packs of 3 Fantasia. Like, you could get them singularly as well, but I don't know how much they cost. I think when I played, it used to be a pack of 3 Fantasia was, let's say, $15 because it was 14 something. And they just sat in your inventory and you just used them whenever you wanted to. I liked it. It was good. Like I said, whenever I got bored, I just changed my character. Which is funny, because I never really changed from the Mikote. I just used to sort of swap between male and female, because, you know, sometimes I got bored of the male outfits I wore, so I could wear female outfits, which were far more varied than the male outfits. Yeah, so it's still half the price of what Blizzard charges. I wish I had the time to play Final Fantasy again. I do. I do have the, I sort of do have the time. I do and I don't. But I remember the last time I tried to play Final Fantasy, like, I logged into it, and I was just so fucking lost as to where I was supposed to go. And so directionless that I just sort of ran around for 5 minutes and then just went, this isn't fun. See you later. And I wasn't really willing to pay for, like, a story skipper because it fucking cost so fucking much. They were like $80 or something. Why am I doing this? I do kind of like the story in Final Fantasy, but like, I was just so lost that the only way I was probably going to unlose myself would have been to skip the story up to where, like, the game was. Otherwise, I probably just would have been, like, 110% just good luck to me. I am a Roomba. I am become Roomba. I don't know why they added this thing to the game. It's cool, yeah, but it doesn't, it's not better than just using the power washer. Like, it cleans less than the power washer. It's really good when you first start off, when you've got shit power washes, but when you get to the end of the game, it's not better than the power washes. I do like it, it's cool, but it's just not better. I want to like it. It's just hard to like it when it doesn't do a very good job. I mean, I can clean walls with it. I suppose that's something. And it kind of does an okay job on the floors, even when it's not on the floor. Cute. Like, if I could, just as a loose example, like, if I had a huge streaming community and streaming was a huge part of my base income, I would probably be satisfied to play an MMO. It would be very interesting, because I would probably have to play on a local server, which I don't know how well the Australian servers go and all the rest of it. It's one of those things. I mean, I did move my character over to an Australian server, but yeah, it's because I'd have to run a VPN to play on a US server, maybe even the Asian servers. I don't know. I was never able to get on a Japanese server. So I don't know what the pings are like on the Jap. I mean, I could have just always, you know, just made a new character on one of the Asian servers just to check, but I never did that, so. But yeah, if I, like I said, if streaming was the primary source of my income, I absolutely would play an MMO, because, like, well, at that point I'd be getting paid to play an MMO and it would be worthwhile to me. It's kind of funny. I remember as a kid, I say as a kid, I think I was in my, like, early 20s. I remember reading this article once upon a time that's like, if you're in your 30s or late 20s and you're still playing MMOs, you need to do something with your life. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be playing MMOs my whole life. And it's kind of true. When I approached my 30s, I'm like, man, I have so much other stuff I need to be doing. I don't have the time to continue playing MMOs. It was really weird. Because it's just really weird when you have those sort of late game epiphanies that just something that you remember laughing at earlier in your life just comes back to sort of poke you on the shoulder and just go, oi, remember me? I really enjoyed Final Fantasy, I did. I didn't enjoy, and I will die on this hill as well, that what they did to the Astrologian was fucking dirty. When they took away all its fucking cards. And replaced them with, like, fucking 2 or 3 cards. I thought that was the dirtiest thing they ever did. It's kind of funny, too, because I used to swap healers all the time, too. Because I used to... Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it was semi-reliable in raiding. Like, you had to actually be aware. That was the problem. Like, you had to make executive decisions, and I feel like the MMO community typically is not good at making executive decisions. Maybe? I don't know. I loved the Astrologian before they changed it. Yeah, sometimes the cards just didn't fall in your favor, but there was always a buff for a class. And the bottom line is that you just had to know your own raid group to know who to give those buffs to. If you didn't know your own raid group, then yeah, you were gonna get stitched by the class. Like, the class wasn't gonna work for you. Because unless you knew exactly who your best physical ranged, magic ranged, physical melee, tank, best healer, like, unless you knew who your top performers were, Astrologian was never going to work for you. And I feel like a lot of people just never knew that information. So, you know, Astrologian just never worked for them. Because you were never going to get the card that was always going to buff your tank, or always going to buff, you know, the person you wanted to. So you had to make do. And you had to listen to other people. That was the other big thing that I learned. Was you had to listen to people, because if you gave a black mage the haste buff, it fucked their whole rotation up. Or maybe, I don't think it was black mage, maybe it was summoner. It was one or the other. If you gave them the haste boost, it would fuck their rotation up. So if you just went, no, fuck you, you're gonna get the haste boost, and not listen to them, like, like, that's just, I can see why people would hate it, because they're just like, well, I give these people fucking buffs and they don't like it, you know? Well, no, just give the haste boost to fucking anyone else. Anyone else, nobody else is gonna complain. I don't think anyone played Machinist back then, because Machinist was, like, fucked. I don't think people played Machinist until after they fucked Astrologian. So yeah, I think that was the big issue with Arcanist? No, where did I get that from? Astrologian. Going crazy. Was, yeah, that people just didn't bother to learn the class, so everybody just complained that it was shit. And in turn, everybody got punished for it. Like, all the actual proper Astrologians got punished for it because, yeah, you just had a whole bunch of people whinging about it. And then in the next patch, the next DLC, they fucking buffed the shit out of scholars, and scholars just turned into beasts. So both healing classes were just sidelined. I loved Scholar, which is kind of funny because in the first I swapped every fucking time. I played White Mage in vanilla. I played Astro in Heavenswood, and I played Scholar in whatever the fuck the other one was, Stormblood. And I think I continued to play Scholar after that, so... I don't think I ever changed. I would have gone back to... Honestly, if they had have swapped Astrologian back to how it was before they fucked up the cards, I would have gone back to Astrologian at any time, but they never undid it, so I just like... Not doing that. I still did play some White Mage, but I mainly played Scholar. Like, if I was playing with somebody for a raid or something and I knew they preferred to play Scholar, I would play White Mage just to sort of balance it out, but... I did try to learn the new Astrologian and get used to it, but it felt so lackluster and boring. Because it just felt like a White Mage that had... It just felt like a White Mage with cards that you had to micromanage instead of like a proper buffer. And I just came to the conclusion that there was no point in playing it over a White Mage because White Mage did the job better, so... I tried it a lot. I gave it a very fair go, I feel. I feel like I gave Astrologian a very fair go. I wanted to love that class because of how much I loved it in Heavenswood, but it never came back to me. And like I said, it was basically just a White Mage with cards that you had to micromanage, and White Mage just did the job better, so why ever use an Astro? I did play a lot of Machinist before I stopped playing too. Machinist got really fun in the last expansion pack I played. I actually had a lot of fun playing Machinist. How much soap do I have? Not much soap? Question mark? Where is all my soap? Where did I put all my soapies? Or is my soapies good? My soapies might be good. I might just be having a soapy moment. I loved Monk as well. Monk was good, but because of the good old Australian latency, I couldn't really do, like, Monk. Or Dragoon. I wasn't very good at Monk, I admit. I was okay at Dragoon, but yeah, latency was definitely a thing. I had played Samurai. I loved Samurai. If I was to play I say if I was to play it again, I would still continue to play Samurai, but I know how rough it is trying to get groups as DPS, so I don't know, I'd probably just be a healer again. Probably. But I really liked Samurai. I did not enjoy Ninja. Ninja was another class. I didn't want to like Ninja, but I did try to enjoy it. Like, I did give Ninja a very fair go, and I found Ninja to be very, very not great. I macroed my Bard skills. My Bard skills were on one fucking button. Not one button. Like 3 buttons, I think I had my Bard skills down to. Like, excluding, you know, songs and stuff like that. Like, my actual skill rotation was on 3 buttons for Bard. I loved Bard, and then they gave Bard the Astro treatment, and I was just like, thanks, guys. I appreciate your input in the matter. I loved Bard. Bard was so great. I used to play Bard and just watch YouTube videos. I was never the top of the DPS list, but I was always like around number 5. Which is cool, I liked it. I like being able to be lazy and still do a good job. And then they nerfed Bard, like, to the point where it was unplayable, and I'm just like, okay, thanks, guys. Like, there was just no way you could be a good Bard. And I think that was about the same time I think they fixed up Machinist, so Machinist was really good too, so everybody just started playing Machinist. But I did enjoy Machinist. I heard they really fucked Summoner. I was never playing to see it, but I heard they absolutely decimated Summoner. See, what they did to Summoner is basically... I feel like what they did to Summoner is basically what they did to Astrologian. They just gut the class and then go, like, here it is. Here's your class. Just simplifying it down to, like, bare essentials. I remember when they changed the enmity from fucking tanks, too. That fucking did me over so bad. I hated tanking after they changed that. That was shit. Different from Black Mage. When I was playing, Black Mage needed a fucking manual. Stretching the height weight. What? Ugh. I don't know why they kept simplifying things. feel like I get why they do it, sort of. Like, I get that an MMO gets to the point where they're just like, there's too much, we need to sort of bake it down, but at the same time, I feel like whenever a company sort of hits that bridge where a game needs to be maybe not simplified, but boiled down, they always make the wrong choice. They always go with, like, simplifying things rather than boiling things down. I feel like that's not the way they should go about it. I remember all the paladins complaining. Paladins were fucking fuming when they boiled everything down. I knew a lot of Paladin mains, and they were just fucking crying because, you know, Paladins were still the best tanks, but the problem was that Paladin was so fucking boring that they hated playing it. Which, whenever I had the tank, I played a Paladin because, again, I could just do nothing. I could just watch YouTube videos. I was a very lazy Final Fantasy XIV player. Although I did play Black Mage for a long while. After Bard got screwed, I played a lot of Black Mage as a main. I was min-maxing a Black Mage at one point, actually. I don't know which expansion pack it was, but I was min-maxing a Black Mage. Which is crazy to think about, because I think about min-maxing now and I'm just like, why fucking bother, but... Like, I knew all the stat caps for all the bonuses and everything. It's just thinking back on it, I'm just like, wow, man. I used to do that. I used to know all that shit. It's crazy. I used to know all that shit off the top of my head, too. Like, not even spreadsheets and shit. Like, it was just information that existed in my fucking brain case. But only for Black Mage. I couldn't have probably answered it for anybody else, unless they were similar. Like, I imagine Summoner probably had similar fucking stat caps, so I probably could have answered it for a Summoner. I'm told they probably changed it now, but I'm told at release, the newest expansion pack, warriors did not need healers at all. Not even warriors, like I'm pretty sure all the tanks just did not need healers because they could heal themselves. I am told on good authority that the world first clear was done without healers. And then anybody who mains a healer now sort of looks at themselves and goes, well, what is my job? You are to fill daily queues. I wonder if I can clean the roof without actually going up to the roof. Clean the top of the ball, that way it's done, and then I'll just sort of fart ass around and just spray it. It's just funny, like, can you imagine you actually are like a healer main and then you just hear that, well, we've cleared the end boss of this this current expansion setting. We didn't use any healers. That would just demolish your, like, desire to play. Demolish my desire to play. I wouldn't want to fucking play anymore if I was a healer main. Which, you know, for the most part I was. Because, you know, like I said, I could never fucking get groups for Samurai because fucking good luck getting groups as DPS. I love my Samurai. I can never play it because, like I said, fucking could never get groups, but I loved Samurai. Yeah, see, unfortunately, I was that friend that was always playing a fucking healer or a tank. Mainly because I didn't want to sit in queues. Like, I had shit to do, man. I don't have time to sit in a fucking queue for hours. MH fell out really hard when I stopped. Like, the expansion pack I stopped playing. Scholar was the top healing DPS. Scholar was a fucking animal in the expansion pack I stopped playing. Half the time, if you had a good tank, the fucking fairy would heal everything. If you had a good tank, the fairy could fucking just heal everything and just be done with it. You might have to put like a shield, one shield on somebody so the fairy could catch up, but that'd be it. Oreos. Casting a little heart out. I used to love actually doing like the low-level dungeons with a fairy as a summoner, not as a summoner, as a scholar, because the fairy literally would heal everything, and you could just sit there and do nothing. I don't think I ever cast a single heal in a low-level dungeon when I was a scholar. Maybe just the AoE bubble spell. That might have been it. Just broil the whole way through. It's good. I like genuinely have a lot of time for Final Fantasy, I do. Even though Square Enix has personally fucked me on at least one occasion, I still have a lot of time for that. I still think you're a scummy company, Square Enix. You stole my money and I don't appreciate it, but that's okay. Just because you stole my money doesn't mean I'm gonna diss your very functional, workable MMO for the most part. I will, however, diss the fact that you stole my money. Fucking pricks. I will also diss the fact that you have one of the shittest support fucking staff in the world. Your support team is bollocks. But then again, that's the standard these days. Blizzard uses AI these days for their support team, so hey ho, here we go. I guess at least Square Enix uses people still. I think. Maybe. I hope. Blizzard doesn't even have a support team. It's great. I love it. Blizzard is literally the epitome of how low can we go. Actually, I haven't seen what happened with their lawsuit for Turtle WoW. They were apparently starting a lawsuit against Turtle WoW. I haven't played Turtle WoW in a hot minute. Some other stuff came out and I started playing that instead, so... Because Turtle WoW was kind of just like a stopgap for me. Limbo, it hasn't really gone anywhere. That doesn't surprise me. Turtle WoW scratched a very big itch. I should launch up Turtle WoW and see if they ever got the Unreal 5 engine patch going. They were migrating the whole game over to Unreal 5. It was really promising. As much as I hate Unreal 5, but you know, given it's an indie studio doing it, I'm curious of the results. I was pretty excited for it. Like, initially it was going to be pretty dull because they were just doing the game over in Unreal 5 and that was it. So it was just going to be the world that was changing, but eventually they were going to like update models and all that sort of stuff. And that was more what I was interested in. That was the part of the project I was heavily invested in. Because that would have definitely like made Turtle WoW its own thing. Or, you know, something that sets it apart from OG World of Warcraft. Wow, it's a Raggy. There's the Borb. What's going on, Rags? I'm not playing Arknights today because I kind of got the CC I was gonna work on today. 8 months streaking. That's crazy. Thank you for the resub.
Fox just subscribed for 8 months. 8 months streaking, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing Arknights today because I was kind of testing it and poking it and prodding it earlier today, and I realized, like, I got to the point where I think I'm just about done with it, so I'm like, do I stream Arknights for an hour and then have no fallback plan, or do I just stream something else? I decided I'd stream something else. I could have done IS, I guess, but yeah. I don't think I'm in the mood for IS. I need to be in, like, a good mindset to do IS, otherwise IS just makes me angry. Ew, Common Core. Ew, FromSoft game. Disgusting. Integrated Strategies is IS. It's kind of like a roguelike version of Arknights. I do it from time to time. Very rarely. If I feel like it, I might do it tomorrow. Because I do need to continue working on it, but... Most of IS was designed for masochists. That is true. That's the best way I can describe it, as roguelike. I don't like using that term, but that is the term that everybody picked, so that is the term that I have to use. That is the colloquial term for it. I like to think that roguelike has a little bit more stability to it. It is a massive time sink, that is true. Each run takes about an hour, depending on how good you go. If you get knocked out early, then... I guess it doesn't take an hour, but... yeah, like a full, solid attempt to the end boss takes about an hour, depending on how quickly you can blow through it. You're in incredible pain? Well, then you definitely don't want to sit there fricking around and doing bloody FromSoft games. That's how you put yourself in more pain. FromSoft games are pain, my dude. Yeah, I suppose I could have just dipped back to doing IS, but I didn't actually. Honestly, I'll be real, I didn't think about it. Because I never think about IS. IS is literally the last thing on my fucking head. The last time I thought about IS, admittedly, was this morning. I was talking to Zai this morning about Arknight's lore and how I'm being fucking pedantic, and I think I pissed Zai off this morning, but that's alright. Because I was being pedantic about Arknight's races. And she mentioned, like, this one item in IS-5 which notes that Durin come from Sarkaz. Like, they're a Sarkaz subspecies. And I'm just like, man, yeah, okay, I acknowledge that that's true, but I don't fucking like it. Like, that is the weakest lore drop ever. This is hair ripping from underneath my arm pain. I can't say I've ever had hair ripped out of my underarm. FromSoft games give me a weird... bring me a weird sense of pleasurable pain. Kind of like when you poke a bruise. That kind of pleasurable pain. I'm gonna tell Con you're a masochist, Regs. More like a scab. My scabs don't usually hurt. I'm not a maso. I'm gonna send her that message. I'm gonna send her the message that you said FromSoft games bring me a weird sense of pleasurable pain. Raggy masochist confirmed. Speaking of masochism, I need to go and play more fucking Monster Hunter. I haven't played it recently because we've been doing stuff with Shim as well, so we haven't actually done any Monster Hunter recently. Is this still the same map? As what? I've only done 2 maps. I've done the floats, and this is the second map that I did. See? Now I feel like doing Arknight's IS. Why have you done this to me, Raggy? Do you know how bad it is that I feel like doing IS? Why would you do this to me? It is not my own fault. You did this to me. Because I actually don't mind the current IS. Like, as far as ISs go, it's not horrible. It's bad, but it's not horrible. If curiosity killed the cat, it damn well can kill the bird. It does. And I think that's probably why I don't mind the current IS, is because Radiant kind of just handholds you through it. Which is fair as to why Wookiee doesn't like using Radiant. I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I totally get it. Are you just talking about IS? Are you just talking about Arknight's game mode? What do you mean Arknight's game mode? Don't blah me. What do you mean blah? No! Bloody entirely different game. There's only 2 Arknights games, debatably what. Alright. It is Gacha Tower Defense. It's just a roguelike mode of it. You are not special. Don't give me that shit. Very special when it comes to remembering shit. I don't know, Rags. I think you're trying to get in the cop out. I also feel like playing Cyberpunk again. Cyberpunk is... Have you ever noticed that Cyberpunk is a game that I just constantly keep going back to? Because it's great. I agree. I agree that Cyberpunk is one of the greatest games. Of... I don't even know when it was released. When was it released? Late 2010s, wasn't it? I remember pre-ordering that game in like 2011, by the way. 2020. Damn, it did take a long time to get out. End of 2020. I love Cyberpunk. I've always loved Cyberpunk, even when it was a janky mess at launch. Although, admittedly, I didn't have any jankiness at launch. I was one of the lucky ones. I was one of the lucky ones that really didn't have any, like, major catastrophes when the game launched. I think I had a couple of crashes. I think that was, like, the worst thing I had. Certainly nothing that I, you know, look at and I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst game ever. But I did hear that a lot of people have it a lot worse than me. But see, for me, with games, it seems to be like one way or the other. If everybody's complaining about crashes, I tend to be okay. Or if everybody says that the game is great and it's a smooth as fuck launch, I just crash all the time. So, I just, at this point in time, I just sort of recognize what I'm to be expecting. It is true, it did go from some of the worst metrics to being one of the best games. CD Projekt Red definitely didn't give up on that game, and I rate them for it. My computer is just weird. My computer has a personality, and I'm not sure that I approve of it. Especially since I use an AMD GPU and not an NVIDIA one, so it has no right having a personality. No Man's Sky fucking pulled itself out of the bin too. Yeah, No Man's Sky definitely pulled itself out of the bin. Whether you like that game or not, it pulled itself out of the bin. Like, I can understand why people don't like it. I played it, I didn't mind it. I wouldn't say it's the most amazing thing I've ever played. Probably would be a lot more amazing had I not played Star Citizen, but... like Hyatt, who puts himself in prison and then starts fucking killing people in prison. Bam. And then wonders why he gets 24 hours in prison. I got it for free, I think. I think I got No Man's Sky for free. And I played a little bit of it. It's not a bad game. It's not amazing. Like, it's certainly no Star Citizen. Like, that's the sort of the problem. Like, once you play Star Citizen, your benchmark for those sorts of games really comes up. I've never played creative. I played it in survival as well. But it's certainly a game that works. It certainly works. It was polished. It didn't crash. It didn't have any issues. Like, it is what I would expect of any game, so. Which is funny, because not every game is like that anymore. Should you pick up Star Citizen? Wait until it's free and try it then. And definitely read the minimum specs. It's kind of funny, because I used to encourage people to buy Star Citizen, and now these days I'm just like, man, definitely, probably don't. Star Citizen used to be the epitome of what a game needs to be in 20 whatever. But yeah, they've made a lot of design choices that I don't personally agree with, so. I don't even know when the next free fly is. When is the next free fly? We just had IAE. Would it be Invictus? Speaking in an ancient unknown tongue. This guy. May seems a long way off. Let me have a look. I wonder if I can maybe just see. It looks like we'll get one around Valentine's Day, by the looks of it. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get a free fly event for Valentine's Day. The 14th, buddy. Yeah, between myself and Shade, we have a lot of ships you can try out. They typically give you a few ships to try out as well. But I mean, you just make an account and log in and see how it goes. It's probably the best way to do it. Like, I don't encourage Star Citizen as much as I used to. Like I said, they've made a lot of design choices that I don't agree with. And they doubled and tripled down on them as well. So, like, I'm really not for all that. But some people still enjoy it. Some people like it more. Some people, like me, obviously like it a lot less. It's a very loaded game, so I don't know, maybe set yourself up for a weekend of it, because, like, you'll probably need more than a day to sort of orientate yourself. It's a big thing. It's a big game, man. It's not a game you can just sort of sit down in and just go, yeah, we're doing this. Unless you're just sort of hanging out with somebody, in which case, then yeah, you can just sort of do whatever they're doing, but... I would, however, encourage you to, if you are interested in the game, probably consider buying it this year, because I think Squadron 42 is coming this year, is it not? And I would be willing to wager that once Squadron 42, you can't buy it at all anymore. It doesn't come from the packs anymore? No shit. Oh, well, fuck that idea then. Game packages. That's interesting and concerning. Oh well, never mind. Don't worry about that then, Rags. I was gonna say, if you play it and like it, I would consider buying a game package, even if it's just a cheap one. So you could get Squadron 42, which is the single player one, but yeah, they just... because they will probably chunk the price up as they are known to do, but yeah, apparently they've already pulled it, so... disregard that suggestion. Because I always thought that they would probably pull it at some point in time and release Squadron 42's game as like $80 get fucked. $70 get fucked or whatever. I think I actually have 2 packages that have Squadron 42 in it. Just because there was one year where there was another package that was just better. Like if you bought it with the package, it was just cheaper all around. I mean, I've probably used it, like it's probably something else now, but... yeah, I don't know, man. I would wait until you can play a free fly and see what you think of it, honestly. I wouldn't buy the game. Especially not now that you can't even get the single player out of it. That's kind of a little bit of a fucking lackluster of incentive. I have to log back into mine. And then I'd have to find it in, like, my original fucking purchases, which I... oh, actually... you visit this page often. I keep telling Star Citizen's website to remember me for a year, and it's just like, no, I don't think I will. Oh, look at that. I have fancy stuff. Standalone game packages. There we go. Do I have one or two? I do have two. I must have got rid of one of my old design, like one of my old ones, because I'm pretty sure I had a Super Hornet package or a Hornet package. Now I just have the one that I'm not gonna sell, which is the AMD one. The AMD Mustang Omega and my Kickstarter account. Now, because of the way game developers are, do we still have Squadron 42 in our bundles? Like, do you still have Squadron 42 in yours? I'm gonna check, because I don't trust game developers these days. Yeah, okay, I do. I have them in both, funnily enough. I didn't actually think the AMD Mustang would have it, but it does. That's just it. It wasn't a purchased copy. Like, it was just a little novelty thing they did with AMD. That's why I figured that maybe it wouldn't have anything in it. That was from me buying my old fucking... What was that video card, man? $590 or something? Nah, it wasn't a $590. I don't know what it was. I stand by that video card being the best video card I've ever owned. That was the single best video card I have ever owned. It was fucking expensive. Like, it was the flagship card at the time, but it was the best card I have ever owned. And I hate that it fucking dried itself out and I had to replace it with a fucking 20... What did I replace it with? A 2070, I think. Fucking NVIDIA. Huh. Card lasted 2 fucking years. Center this Friday and check it out. Micro Center? Question mark. Now is not a good time to be buying new PC stuff. Yeah, fucking. Oof. Buying PC parts at the moment is like taking out a house mortgage. Monitors are getting better and better for price, actually. GPU is gonna fucking murder you, man. How much are 9070s at the moment? Are 9070s still alright? Yeah, it's fucking dangerous buying Nvidia cards at the moment. Buying Nvidia at the moment is a dangerous game to play. Nvidia this generation, you're paying for the fucking name anyway. It's like buying a Ferrari. That's the beautiful part, Rags. They stopped making them. Nvidia did a fucking Apple. Nvidia took a page out of the Apple playbook. No old technology, brother. I think that's the reason they stopped making the 4K series, was because the 5K series was such a pathetic upgrade that they thought nobody would fucking buy them. Yeah, I'd look at the AMD 9000 series cards, man, honestly. How much does that run? I don't know. Shade will have to check the prices because I don't know what they are. can only give you Australian prices. Australian prices are no good to you. I mean, you could always wait until NVIDIA start releasing the 3050s again. Yes. I don't actually know if are they updating that card at all? I think they are updating the card. I think they're modernizing the 3050. No, they're not modernizing it? Okay, understandable. Have a good day. I just assumed they were modernizing it because that would make sense, but far be it from me to tell people what makes sense, I guess. And just to be really clear, Raggy, the 9060 is a mid-range card. Like the lower end of the mid-range cards too. Yeah, they are going because, well, yeah, you may as well say that. It's because of the RAM shortage, but yeah, you may as well say it's AI's fault because it is. But yeah, I would look at the 9060s. Personally, the 9060 XCs would be good for you. Even the base, like, even the 9060 flat, like if you don't, I don't know if you mind overclocking it, but a 9060 could probably be clocked up to a 9070. But I mean, that's a personal thing. I have a 9070, which is the equivalent of a 5080? 5070 Ti? They can be clocked to meet, they can be overclocked to meet the 5080 Ti, I think. I had mine overclocked fucking severely. But the problem is, I think I overclocked mine to the point it was nearly at like a 5090. I was able to fucking smash the shit out of mine. The problem was the heat. I couldn't keep it cool. My card was really good. My card fucking came out of the box fucking kicking and screaming when I tried to overclock it, but yeah, I just couldn't fucking keep the heat down. It was cool for a video card, but unfortunately I'm in Australia, and Australia says that every day needs to be fucking 30 minimum, so... Smiley face. But yeah, honestly, if you're looking for cheap card rags, I would look for the AMD 9000 series. That is what I would look at if I were you. You won't get any of the NVIDIA fancy shit, but I mean, at the point in time, I mean, like I said, you can pay for whatever you're paying for with NVIDIA these days. If you just want to play games, yeah, literally just look at the 9000 series. Because you're not going to be paying a marked up price for AMD products. Whereas with NVIDIA, no matter what you get, you're always going to pay a marked up price because it's an NVIDIA card. And everybody wants to buy NVIDIA cards because AI. But yeah, the problem is... The problem with AMD versus NVIDIA is, like, do you want to pay for NVIDIA's excessively overpriced stock at the moment? Or do you just want to pay... And, like, don't get me wrong, you get more features with NVIDIA cards. You do. AMD does the same stuff, typically. It just doesn't do it as well. So, I mean, do you want a car with all the fucking bells and whistles, or do you just want a car? I guess is the point you gotta boil it down to. Do you mind winding the windows down, or do you need automatic windows? I would love a new motherboard. I really want a new motherboard. I used to say that AMD was a bit sloppy with its drivers too, but NVIDIA's drivers have been having a fucking time. AMD's last fucking drivers are just like... not AMD's, NVIDIA's last driver update was fucking trash. I think NVIDIA stopped. The other thing is, the other big issue is that I think NVIDIA has moved away from caring about gamers. So I would be personally wary of buying NVIDIA cards at the moment anyway, because I feel like NVIDIA just doesn't really care about their primary user base. Like, their primary user base now is not their primary user base anymore. Like, gamers are not the primary invested interest right now. All they care about is AI now. Which is cool for the shareholders, but not so cool for the people who actually use their cards. So, I would say that you're probably gonna see a lot more issues with NVIDIA cards down the line as they move away from their focus of being like a gaming company to an AI company. Which, like I said, AMD is far from perfect. I'm not gonna say AMD is fucking an angel here, but they're the better of two evils this year. NVIDIA found the cash cow and now they're milking it hard. That's what's going on, basically. Ow. Thank you for the hydrate. Damn hungry. Glug glug. Which, as a business, I suppose I can't blame them for, but at the same time, it's not very good for the consumers. But that's alright, because they don't care about their consumers. They only care about their stakeholders. Their shareholders, sorry. Fuck consumers, love shareholders. That's what it's all about. The Azrock ones are the ones that are like fucking demon cards, aren't they? Weren't they the ones that we were trying to get? Yeah, I couldn't get one. They sold out. And I say this as though it's like the most unfortunate thing in the world. I had to get the Sapphire Tech card. My Sapphire Tech card that's just an absolute feral dog of a card. It still cooks itself though, it's fucked. It's a fucking prick of a thing. Fuck Australia. Fucking hot cunt of a country. That's alright. It'll be fine in winter. Winter's coming, I hope. You heard of Steam achievement? Yeah. I've been chasing Steam achievements while I've been working on this. I used to have two systems until a couple of years ago, Rag. Two desktops and a laptop. Now I'm just down to a desktop and a laptop, but I have gained a substantially large amount of fucking monitors, I do admit. I've doubled the amount of monitors I have, so I guess that kind of covers the second PC. Get all the military brats and you can... No. So clearly they're not drone operators then. The tech baby of the family. Yeah, I used to have 2 PCs. The old shell is still there. It's all rusted out, actually, and none of it is any good anymore. It is doomed, unfortunately. So yeah, if I want to rebuild my PC again, my second PC again, it's gonna have to be a whole new PC, which was viable up until, like I said, the AI thing started, and now nothing is fucking viable at all. Because I could have cannibalized most of the parts of it, but I think they're all rusted to shit now. Why are you not clean? Ah. NVMEs are definitely what I need. I direly need more storage. $50.80 is a hand-me-down. That's fucking crazy talk. I can't even say that I waited too long, honestly. Like, I knew what I was doing when I was waiting for the extra storage. Like, I wanted... I just wanted a lot more storage, and they just weren't releasing the size I wanted. Like, I wanted, like, an 8GB NVMe. 8 terabyte, yeah. And they weren't fucking coming down. They just weren't fucking moving, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting. Maybe even hoping that maybe there would be, like, an even better one, like maybe the 16s would come out. I direly wanted more fucking storage. I still do. But yeah, until such time as this all sorts itself out, which I don't know if it will. I mean, it's got to, right? Surely fucking AI can only go so far before it hits sort of like a plateau, and then everything sort of stabilizes. Hopefully that takes only about 12 months or something, I don't know. Of course it's in here that I need to clean shit. Yeah, you'll get shot by auto mod. You can just send it in the main channel in my Discord, man. Fine. I don't mind people sending stuff in my Discord as long as they're being responsible about it. As long as it's responsible stuff, I don't care. Yeah, no, I'm pretty loose, man. As long as, like I said, as long as people are being responsible, I don't care what they put in the Discord. I have channels for most things. If there's no channel for it, then yeah, just throw it in the fucking general chat. Huh? $2023? No shit. Wow. Crazy. I mean, I expected it to come out last year, honestly. So if you had told me they removed it last year, I probably wouldn't have thought much of it. But yeah, 2023, that's weird and wild. Where is the dirt? Where's the dirt? Job complete. Whoa. I think most of the jobs in this game are not meant to be done by one person. I'm also so glad that it doesn't tell me how long it took me to do this, or I will die inside. I would absolutely die inside. All right. I think I'm gonna probably wrap up on YouTube, and I'm gonna do like a little bit of IS before I call it a day. So I'm gonna continue going on Twitch because YouTube doesn't like it when I switch games. So for folks on YouTube, I'll be continue going on Twitch, and on Twitch I will be swapping over to Arknights. So let's wrap up on YouTube.